Hey there, it's good to see you. I hope that you enjoyed your day. As you can see from the title, I made a very quick trip to Sephora. So I want to share with you the things that I picked up because I did pick up some good items that you might be interested in for yourself. But because I did that, I recently posted my makeup inventory. I will link that in the description box below if you are interested in watching that. But because I picked up a few new things, I went through my collection to declutter some of the formulas that I'm using to replace the new things with, because I either am not a fan of the formula anymore or they just needed to go. So I'm really going to do a very concentrated effort this year to clear out old makeup with the occasional purchases that I make. I'm trying not to make a habit of buying a bunch of makeup, but for the things that I do replace in my collection, I definitely want to make sure that I'm moving some old stuff out. So let's get into it. The first thing that has been on my radar for months, ever since it was launched, it is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a huge fan of the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous Foundation. I love it because it multi-purposes. I don't have to use an additional concealer on top of it. And I also don't have to, I still wear a primer, but I mean, it's one of those foundations that you can go either way. I do because I like primers and I want to make sure I get that slight bit of extra coverage during the day. So this intrigued me as being the high-end comparable version of the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. I bought this in the shade Linen. I put it on today around noon and it is now about 10 o'clock. This foundation wears fantastically. I am so impressed with how this is held up. I have not had to touch up my foundation. I did have to touch up my concealer, but that's because of the mascara I picked up. Other than that, this did not transfer at all today. I had no separation on my nose, no separation on my chin. I didn't have any cheek, redness coming through or any of that. So if you are in the market for a matte foundation, I would suggest trying this out. Clinique is one of those understated brands that it's making a comeback. I know for me, it was my first brand to kind of go high end on back when I was a teenager. So it's kind of a walk down memory lane to step back into Clinique products, but this is really holding up as far as first impressions. I'm hoping that it doesn't break me out over time, so I'll keep you posted. But as far as I can see, this is going to be a great addition into my foundation routine. If you haven't seen it before, it comes with a concealer applicator type situation that you dab onto your face. Not quite the most sanitary way of applying your foundation, but whatever, I'll work with it. So what I did was I striped, under my nose, on my forehead, and on my chin, and then I blended it in with a dampened beauty blender. And then any areas that I wanted kind of a little bit more coverage, or you can do a second layer, it works really, really well. And like I said, I've been wearing this for about 10 and a half hours now. This is good stuff, really good stuff. Then, the next thing that I picked up was the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill Wet Mascara. It's for length and volume. I bought this because I've been hearing Tiffany D or Makeup by Tiffany D talk about this mascara for at least the last 5 years. It's been a long time. I figure if you can commit to a mascara for 5 years, there's something to be said for it. You know what I mean? Because, she's purchased so many tubes of this. So I went on and purchased this. It is a nice mascara, but I also applied it when I applied that Clinique foundation today, and I noticed about 5-6 hours in, I definitely had some flaking on my under eyes. It's a great formula. There's no clumping. It's not crazy on the lashes. You can layer it up. I love that the bristles don't hurt my lashes when I apply it, but like I said, I did have some transferring. That's the only thing I had to touch up before I came on to film for you, because, I had that black raccoon eyes effect. Otherwise, my makeup would have been just fine. But I decided to go on and try this just to see. They do have a waterproof version. Actually, I think I did get the waterproof. It says wet on it. Yeah, it's a waterproof mascara. So We'll see. It's not a super wet formula like if you buy the L'Oreal or if you buy Lancome mascara. So I'm interested to see how this is going to hold up after it dries out a little bit. So like I said, I'll keep you posted on that. But so far, I mean, I was happy with the way it applied to my lashes. But I'm not a fan of the raccoon eyes. But then the 3 things that I purchased that I intended to replace items in my collection. The first thing I picked up was the Sephora Luster Matte Longwear Lip Color in the shade Mulberry. I'm a huge fan of the shade of the Too Faced Melted Berry Liquid Lipstick, but I don't like how high maintenance that, you know, particular formula is with the sponge tip applicator. And, you know, even if I barely applied it, it looks great when you initially apply it, but for me, it just didn't work out because it tended to bleed and it was just not a good situation. So I went through and I picked up the shade Mulberry, and like I said, the Luster Matte Longwear Lip Color. This is fantastic. It's what I'm currently wearing on my lips. Here is a swatch of it right here. It is exactly like that Melted Berry liquid lipstick without the fuss. It does transfer if you kiss anything or if you take a drink or if you eat anything, so don't expect it to be like a lip stain. Whereas the Too Faced does kind of linger around a little bit longer, but this is so comfortable on the lips. It's completely soft, but this is just great stuff. I cannot recommend this enough, and I love that I can apply it to my lips. I'm not wearing a lip liner, and I've been wearing this for about the past 2 hours. This is incredible as far as the lip color. I definitely want to pick up more of these in the future as I continue to replace some of my older lip colors in my collection. But these, they have them in tons of colors too, so very worth checking out. And I kind of was intrigued by this because of Melissa, or H Kitty. I will link her channel in the description box below, because she was talking about how great these are I want to say it was a couple months ago, and I thought I wasn't real happy with the Too Faced formula anyway in that melted lipstick. Personally, like I said, the shade was beautiful, but I just didn't like how high maintenance it was for me. But this, right up my alley, on track. Then the 2 other things that I wanted to kind of replace colors in my collection, I bought 2 shades of the Sephora lip stain, cream lip stain. I got the shades Black Cherry and I got the shades Mauve. These are also phenomenal. Holy cow, phenomenal. I put the Black Cherry on pretty much as soon as I got in my car to go home, because I was wearing the Milani Matte Flirty today, and I just don't like the way it kind of bunches up on my lips. Like, it looks great when I first apply it, but as soon as I take something to eat or take a sip of water or whatever, it looks really, really gunky on my lips. It's just, I don't know, I'm not real pleased with that aspect of it. So when I was walking through the Sephora today, I saw this and I thought, this is really something that is up my radar. This Black Cherry color is right here, and it wears so well. These are better than the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks, if you're a huge fan of those. They are slightly tacky on your lips, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable or annoying. There is also no fragrance to this, and they are literally bulletproof. I mean, I kissed my hand, I kissed my kids, I took sips of water, I ate a snack this afternoon. This stuff works. It does not transfer. So this shade in particular is very similar to Max Sin, or what is the other one? Max Vamp? I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but it reminds me of Max Sin. But because of bringing this color in, I'm going to downsize 2 particular shades from my collection. That is the Milani Matte Lipstick in the shade Sangria, or you may say Sangria. This shade is very, very similar to the Black Cherry, so I'm going to go on and let this go, because like I said, these apply really well initially, but about an hour to 2 hours in, when I'm ready to have something to eat or drink, they really look chunky and gross all over my lips, and I'm not a huge fan. It doesn't matter if I've exfoliated before or put on a moisturizing balm under the lipstick, it still tends to make a hot mess. So I'm gonna let this go. And the other lipstick I'm gonna let go is the Wet n Wild lipstick in the shade Cherry Bomb. I've had this lipstick a long time. I love it. It's been a repurchase for me over the years, but I'm gonna let it go because I've had it a very, very long time. So there is the Cherry Bomb compared to the Sephora cream lip stain in the shade Black Cherry as well. So gonna let those two things go. I feel good about it. I wanna make sure that I'm, you know, downsizing the old stuff to bring in the new. And then the other shade that I purchased was the shade Mauve, which is this shade right here. This is very comparable, a little bit more pink, but it's comparable to Kat Von D's liquid lipstick in Lolita, or if you're a huge fan of Stila's Patina. I know Stila Patina is really hard to get your hands on going into your local Sephora's and Ulta's, so check out this Sephora cream lip stain. I noticed the Sephora, I went to a full-size Sephora boutique today, not one inside JCPenney, and with the displays on these, they had, I want to say 2 or 3 of these tubes left, so it is highly popular right now, but like I said, this formula is incredible. No stickiness, no fragrance, and it lasts all day. When I tried this on, I love pairing it with a gloss I had in my collection. That is the Bite Lip Gloss in the shade Current. These are beautiful together. This is going to be a combination that I'm wearing often this summer as I pan the shade Sunset from the Stila in the light palette. Kind of similar to Bite Beauty's Rhubarb once you get that shininess effect, but not quite as pink as Rhubarb. It's a little bit more nude, but really, really pretty. Actually, let me show you on top of this swatch right here. Here's Current on top of that Mauve. I mean, just really, really beautiful. And like I said, very comparable to Kat Von D's Lolita, a little bit more pink, but at the same time, very much like Stila's Patina. Stila's Patina, I like the color and everything, but I would rather have a smaller tube of a mauve instead of going with the giant one like that. So because of that, I'm going to go on and downsize the NYX matte lipstick in the shade Natural. The shade's a little bit pinker than the mauve shade, but at the same time, it's close enough where I just feel like it's more mauve in my collection. I'm ready to let this go. And also, too, these NYX lipsticks go off really quickly. I don't know. It kind of has a weird plasticky smell, so I'm going to go on and let that go. So that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to stay posted on the Clinique Foundation. You will be seeing these lip products in Get Ready With Me's coming up and standout tips and shout outs, because these colors are definitely things that I'm reaching for all the time right now. So I'm very happy to be adding these to my collection. I'm happy to be moving out some of the older stuff to make way for new formulas that are popular, like these liquid lipsticks right now. So that's about it. There's going to be more coming your way. I've got to get my vanity tour posted, my kind of backup makeup collection posted, and also too, kind of a quick makeup inventory update. I totally forgot to put my Bare Minerals collection in there. The number hasn't changed. I still have like 50 something Bare Minerals eyeshadows. It's the same thing as it was last year. And also too, I forgot setting sprays and stuff, but I'm working one at a time. So I completely forgot about that. I apologize, but just wanted to give you that heads up. And also too, I don't know, I was looking through my makeup collection and some of my palettes, maybe I'll go through it when I do my palette collection, but some of the palettes I don't have completely anymore. Like I've downsized some of the shades that I know I won't use, and so I put what's left into a Z palette. So if that's the case, would you still count it as having a full palette? Because I know like the Urban Decay 15th Anniversary palette, I used up a couple of the shades and I downsized a couple of shades, so I don't have all 20 that were in that, or 16, whatever it was. And like my Book of Shadows 3 and Book of Shadows 4, I downsized quite a few of the shadows out of there. So let me know in the description box below, because I have them, actually I'll show you. I have what was left downsized into this Z palette. So would you call it just the Z palette, or would you go on and say I still have Book of Shadows 3, Book of Shadows 4, and the 15th Anniversary palette? I don't know. Comment below, because I'm intrigued to see, because otherwise that'll make me happy to downsize my numbers a little bit. So that's about it for now. Like I said, lots coming your way. So have the wonderful rest of your evening. I look forward to talking with you very, very soon. Catch you later.